Hi everybody, Jill Lancet, how are you? Or as my brother would say, g'day, g'day. There are 2 flies in my craft room this evening, and I'm not joking. They would carry a small child off, but I have been chasing them and I can't get them out of here. So if you see the biggest, ugliest fly you've ever seen, yeah, that's why. Okay, now look, I'm going to make a card tonight, and I'm using one of the free SALE-A-BRATION rewards, I guess you could call them. You spend money and get rewarded, and there is rotten thing. It's the Friendly Seagulls. I got a few things we as demonstrators can pre-order, and I pre-ordered some things and was able to get some of the beautiful rewards. You know, I have to spend X amount of dollars to get them as well. And then in this last order that I popped in, I was able to get the Friendly Seagulls. So cute. And I like to make a bit of a scene. I don't mean, you know, I'm embarrassing to be around. Well, I don't know, maybe that might be the case. But anyway, I thought I'd make a fun scene card. So bear with me while I get this sorted, okay? And if that rotten fly comes back, you know, crikey, I'll tell you. So I've got some bits and pieces. I've got a bit of a scrap here of basic white. I've got a panel of crumb cake, and it is as wide as my white, basic white panel, which is matte 3, which in Australia that is 9 by 13.3 centimeters. In the US it is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Sorry, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat now. If it's not one thing, it's the other. So that's that piece. So look, it's irrelevant how wide it is because we're going to be tearing this piece. So we're going to tear it. I've also got another panel of basic white, and that is matte 2, which in Australia or a metric country, it is 9.5 by 13.85, or in the US it is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Okay, so we've got a lovely border, and we've got a crumb cake card base. Okay, it's your standard card base. You know what your card base is in your country. Now I've got a couple of things here. What did I do with them now? I made a bit of a mask out of just some post-it note. I actually made 2, but I've already lost one, which is like just another day at the office for me. So I think what we'll do is we'll have a look at these things here. I've got the 3 seagulls. I've got some other birds. Let me show you one here. Crikey. I've got the 3 seagulls. I've got the birds. I've got Hey Friend, I Love You More Than. I've got the shells and the sand, and they're so cute, easy to colour. I've got everything here and ready to go. Now, I want to do some blending, colour blending, ink blending. That's the word, ink blending. So I've got a couple of the larger blending brushes here. I've got the Balmy Blue and Crumb Cake, and I think we'll start with that. So I'm taking my piece of basic white, the smaller matte 3 piece, okay? So we've got our other piece here, which is matte 2, and you'll see that they do go down with leaving a little bit of a border, okay? So I'm going to use this cloud, and I think I'll just pop that, because I've only got one now, because who knows where the other one is. Could have been carried off by the flies by now, but anyway, I absolutely despise flies, I've got to tell you, and yeah, I don't know how they get into the house. I really don't. But there you go. So I'm just tapping this blending brush into some balmy blue because I want to make a sky. So I'm just starting off the edges. I'm going down just a little bit below halfway. Now, I don't care. I'm not even taking care. I don't care if this looks a bit streaky or a bit patchy because the sky is a bit streaky and a bit patchy at times. So, yeah, you've got striations in the sky, you've got other cloud formations and stuff like that. So, but here's my little mask here. And yeah, I'm just going about 2/3 of the way down. And as I said, I really don't care if that's all blotchy. And you might be cringing at the moment and going, oh my gosh, I don't know how this is going to turn out. But you know what? It'll be okay on the day. If I could get rid of that fly, I'd be a very happy camper. Okay, so there's that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the mask. Just very carefully going to lift that up. Now, I just tore that into a shape, okay? And I'm just going to take the blending brush and take a bit of the brightness off that cloud. So I'm just going to use whatever's on there and just take that brightness off because I don't want it too stark, okay? There you go, that's it. I can use that over and over again. I'll pop it in there in the case with the rest of them. So that's our sky, okay? Now I'm going to take our panel, which is the same length, and I'm going to start tearing this. Now what I want to create is a sandcastle on the beach, okay? So I'm just going to start tearing this towards myself, okay? So I'm just tearing it towards myself like that. And then I want a sandcastle shape. So mostly sandcastles are kind of, you know, like a bit of a mound. So I'm just doing that like that. And I'm hoping that that will look a bit like a sandcastle. Now I'm going to take another blending brush and I'm going to use the crumb cake, and I'm going to ink all the edges. Now it's crumb cake on crumb cake, and you wouldn't think that that would make much of a difference, but it does. Trust me, it does. I don't know what it is about having the edges inked. It just looks really, really good to me, but there you go. So I'm even inking the torn edges. And I'm going to do a bit of stamping on this sandcastle as well. Now, when I was a kid, you know, you'd go hunting along the beach and you'd find some shells. And that is what you would decorate your sandcastle with. So I'm going to put a few shells, like some kid has come along and started decorating this sandcastle with shells. And that's about it, I reckon. And the rest of it is going to be this little sand granules. I think they're meant to be bubbles, but yeah, it looks all the world like sand to me. But anyway, there you go. I'm just doing that here, there and everywhere, just to create a bit of interest in the background. And I've kind of got that bit of a scene happening. There we go. So that's those two. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my fingernail. You can take the edge of your, take your pick, but yeah, I'm just going to use my fingernail, and I'm just going along and sort of bending that torn edge up. just so that it's looks a bit interesting. Looks like it might actually be coming forward. Okay, now that is our scene, and I'm going to actually glue that onto there, but I want a dimensional behind my sandcastle. Okay, so I'm just going to pop one dimensional just at the very top, and the rest of it I'm going to actually glue on with liquid glue. So in order for me to slide this around, I'm just going to put a dot of glue. Now this stamp set comes from the SALE-A-BRATION, as I mentioned. You can't buy this stamp set. You literally have to earn it by spending some money, and in this particular case in Australia it is $100. So I'm just popping that on there like that. Now that is cut at the same dimensions, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just line that up with the card front and pop that on. Now my sandcastle is actually standing proud. I hope you can see that. Now I can put a few more little shells here and there if I want to. Might put a couple there and just a couple there, just to make it a little bit interesting. Okay, so I'm going to pop that aside for now. So that's going over here with my card base, and we'll just pop that over there for the minute. Now on my scrap piece of paper I am going to stamp the 3 seagulls, and they're so cute. They've got a lot of character, these 3 seagulls, I'm telling you. And I'm doing those in Memento Tuxedo Black. Now I made myself a little ink spot with Memento Tuxedo Black in it. It's handy to take to classes. It's handy just to have sitting on my desk. It doesn't take up a lot of room. And yeah, so yeah, I do that with a lot of the colors that I have. So I'm going to just stamp this guy here. This is the cheeky chap with the chips. So I'm popping him on there like that. I've got my Stampin' Pierce mat because these are photopolymer. So I've done him. Now I'm going to do the second guy. And I'm actually going to fussy cut these out and colour them. So yeah, that's why I've used a piece of scrap. Now I'm hoping to be able to get these 3 guys in here together. So let's have a look. So far so good. Let's have a look. Oh, actually I won't need to take him off because he's already on his own little block. So let's have a look here. This guy looks like he's got lots to say. Have you ever known a seagull not to have something to say? And there he goes. Look, he fits in perfectly. So we are going to fussy cut them. I'm going to colour them. Gorgeous. So now what I've done here is I've got a few of the blends. Now I love colouring with the blends. They literally make everything so much easier. But while I've got that out, I will stamp the birds. Oh, look, I've put a smooch on there. Crikey. Already. Dear, oh dear. Never mind. I'll take that little birdie off there and I'll do these birds in black. It just looks like some other seagulls are flying off in the distance. So I'll put some up in this corner here. And I might put some more just somewhere over this cloud. Let's have a look. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to colour these in now. So what I want to do is I've got my light and dark grey granite. This is the, it's fine writing, so yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to colour in like the end of his wings, just these little feathers at the end. I'm just really drawing lines, to be honest. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, this is the dark grey granite. Oh, get out. Oh gosh, I absolutely hate flies and mosquitoes. Ugh, and mosquitoes love me for some reason. But anyway, so now with the lighter grey, I'm just going to come in and do this bit of a stripe on here and then blend the darker colour out. Here we go. I'm also going to just do a little bit of shading just around here. You don't need a lot. There we go. Just a bit around his. You don't need a lot. Okay. The grey granite is like a warm grey. It's like a really soft, warm grey. So I really like that. There we go. He needs a bit of shading under here. Honestly, you don't have to be an artist. You really don't. And now this little cheeky guy with the chips. We call them chips here in Australia. You might call them fries. Oh, I think I coloured his tail in. Oh well. Never mind. Coloured now. There we go. Okay, so I want to also, I've just got light pumpkin pie. I'm going to colour in their little feet and their beaks. As I said, there's not a lot of colouring required, but they just look so cute. Right, this guy's beak. I use this bullet tip end a lot, especially with little small things like that. And what else was I going to do? Oh, the chippies. I thought I might do them in light wild wheat. So they look like chippies. Okay, so that's those done. Now I'm going to fussy cut these. Now, like if you're not into fussy cutting, I never used to be into fussy cutting, but yeah, I've actually developed quite a taste for it, and I quite enjoy it now. So I'm going to separate them one by one. It just makes it easier to cut them out, and I'm really doing a very, very, very small border. Okay, so almost right to the border, like right to the line. Now I'm not even going to attempt to cut that space out because I'm going to show you how we can disguise that. Okay, so it doesn't really take long, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I know I harp on about it doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't, because it's a handmade card. You know, there's that human factor. If you want perfect, go and buy a pre-printed card, because they have quality control. I don't. I mean, I do have a certain amount of quality control, but yeah. The question I would never ask my husband is, does that look wonky? Because he'll tell you. Trust me, he will tell you. Okay. So we're nearly finished cheeky chappy number 1. And I do have a little trick for when I fussy cut, and I'll show you when I've finished all 3 of them. Oh, there's that damn fly again. Okay, there's one. Now this guy here, again, a very small border. I mean, when you're fussy cutting, you can choose to leave a border, not leave a border. You know, it's totally up to you how you want them to look. And I hope I've been in frame doing this. So there we go. Yeah, it's really hot here tonight. Well, it's not tonight, it's this evening really. But it's still very warm, and I think this is where the flies come into it. Not to mention that my husband did go down the street today and bought a few things, and of course he left the door open while he got it all out of the car, which drives me absolutely insane, but it's not a very hard thing to do, to be honest. There we go. Look, we're getting there. So we've only got one more little guy to cut out. And you probably already know the trick that I'm going to show you. And that is simply using a bone folder to smooth down these cut edges. And yeah, but I have another little trick up my sleeve too, so stay tuned. And yeah. But I've got to get this done. My eldest son is coming over for dinner very, very shortly, and he lives by himself, and he rang me yesterday and said, I'm inviting myself over for dinner. I said, all right. And he said, and I want tacos because I don't cook them for myself. And I said, okay. So tacos are easy. I've pretty much got everything ready, and yeah, when he gets here we'll be having tacos for dinner. To think that he's like 45 and he still likes his mum's home cooking, so that's good, I guess. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them away from that ink. I'm going to lay them face down, and I'm just going to give them a bit of a smooth over from the back. And that just smooths out all the rough edges, all the little bits that are, you know, otherwise looking a bit wonky. So there's our guys, okay? There's our three little guys. Now, oh, I've still got stamping to do. Hang on. I've got the greetings to stamp. Okay, so let me just pop all of these over here out of the way. And I have hello friend. No, what does it say? Hi friend. Hi friend. And I think I'll do it in black. And I've got, where is my little scrap of paper? Now the easiest way to mount these is to put them down. That way they'll go back to their original shape, and then you can just pick them up like that. Now this one, have I stamped this one? I don't know. But anyway, that's going in black, in the Memento black, and it just says, hey friend. Hey friend. So I'm going to pop that over here. And I'm going up towards the top. Now, I hope my head doesn't get in the way. Hey friend. Cool, look at that. Looks good. Then I'm going to clean that one, take that one off, and pop in the, what's it say? I love you more than. I love you more than. Okay. Now, because you can see through this, you can actually kind of line this up. I love you more than. There we go. And we can get that relatively close. Hey friend, I love you more than. Now, I quite often use this dot, dot, dot. And I want to actually banner that, so I want it to look a bit seasidey because it is a seaside sort of scene. So I'm just going to banner that like that. Sometimes it could be called fishtailing. So you might have seen that I just cut a little slot into the middle and then went from the corner into it. So there we go. And I want to actually do a bit of crumb cake blending on the outside of this, just to make it tie in with everything else that we've got happening here. So I'm just going to do that. I want to say rustic, but I think I overused rustic in one of the last videos. And when I played it back, I went, oh my goodness. Everything was rustic on that video. So I'm going to have to find another word for rustic. Even though I've said it about 5 times now. There you go. Right. So let's have a little look at our card. And I did actually get some linen thread out. Now there it is. I was going to say, what the heck have I done with that? Now we'll have a look at that in a minute because I want to get these little guys on here. So I think what we'll do is we'll just put everything where we want it, just like that. This cheeky little guy is going to go on top of the sandcastle. Now, I hear you saying, hey, I can see that space between his little feet. You didn't do it properly. Yep, you're probably correct. I didn't do it properly, but I'm going to show you how to fix that, okay? So if that bothers you, this is what you do. You glue that on, whichever way you want that. Hang on, I think I want this guy over here. He's going to cover up that boo-boo. And I think I want this guy here squawking away. Or do I want him? No, I want him there. I'm going to pop him there, pop him there, pop him there. And these two guys are going to be glued on. They're just going to go straight down. Well, this guy is anyway. So a little bit of liquid glue. And I love making these fun little, I call them scenes. I call them scenes. So he's looking over his shoulder at what's happening here. This guy is squawking away at him. We might pop him up. No, we won't. We'll put him, glue him straight down. This is how the creative process works, guys. I put it and I look at it and I think, nope, that does not look right. There we go. So he's there like that. He's going to get glued on top of the sandcastle, and I do want a couple of dimensionals behind him for that reason. So one there, I think. And then we're going to get, I think we'll need some little mini ones. Let's see what we've got here. Oops. We'll pop a mini one there behind that wing. We might have to cut these little mini ones. Hang on. Hold your horses, honey. Okay. Now I've got a little mini one I can put on the top of his head. And another little mini one that will go behind this wing. And now all I have to do is get them off there. Hold on. Hold on. Right. Easy peasy. So far, so good. And then I'm going to pop a bit of glue on his little feet. Okay. So he's going to be standing on top of the sandcastle, and the others are going to be squawking away at him. So now here's my little trick. I've got the light balmy blue, and I'm going to fill in between his little legs there and down the side, just like that. And then the other two have dark crumb cake. So a bit of dark crumb cake here for him. And I'm just basically outlining the, can you see that? I know it's not 100% perfect, but you know what? I think a blind man would like to see that. I'm not disparaging blind people. Please don't send me any emails. I'm just saying that it's quite acceptable. And this guy, he's on top of the sandcastle, so he's naturally going to have sand between his toes. I mean, you don't have to do this. This is an optional extra. You realise, guys, that I amuse myself, right, when I'm doing these things. So I got a bit of a smile out of that. Now, this is going to go up on dimensionals as well. Where I put this is yet to be seen. Hang on while I just get some dimensionals in place. And, oh, maybe just one more. And then I think we might just wrap some of this around. This is just, I couldn't find my crumb cake, but you know what? The linen thread is the next best thing, okay? So I could actually wrap that around and just have a little bow here. Yep, okay, that's what we'll do. Okay, so I'm actually going to pop a bit of sticky tape. That's what we call it here. I don't know what you guys call it. But here in Australia, it's sticky tape. So a bit of sticky tape there, and I'm going to wrap this around and I'm going to tie, I think, just a knot. So we'll just snip that off, and I think just a double knot, just to give it a bit of a nautical look. There we go. Hang on. You've got to have 15 fingers sometimes. So there we go. There we go. I think that looks fine. So if I want to tighten that, I can pop another little bit of tape on the back here, which I think I'll do because it looks a bit loose on the front. There we go. And I can just snip that off, snip it off, and you can even kind of, you know, give it a bit of rustic look, like it's been out in the weather or something like that. Now I'm going to pop this on our white background now that I've got my little bit of string on there. So I think I'll just glue that on. We're nearly finished. Nearly finished, guys. Hang on. Now, a couple of people have actually asked me about my little glue holder recently. I made it myself. I made a video, this little glue holder. I made a video so that you guys can make your own. Very, very simple, very, very cheap. Okay, there's our little scene. There's our little cheeky chap on there. I'm going to pop that onto the card front, and I'm just going to glue that on. Now what I haven't done is made a white insert for this because I wanted to put the word chips inside the card. Oh, I forgot to shade him. Look at him. Look at him without any shadows on his tummy. And really, you don't have to go to art school to do that. Okay, so there he is there. Now I'm going to pop this on here. Hey friend, I love you more than, and that little peak of a cloud, it just sort of finishes the scene off, I think. So take these off here, and I think I might actually line that up with there. It's just, oh, that's crooked. That is as crooked as, there we go. I think that's better, not sure. So there we go. And inside, although this is light enough to get away with that, I might just do it on there anyway. Let's have a look. What I might do is take this block and pick up the chips, and on the other side I'll put the chips. Now let's give that a bit of a roughening up just with the palm of my hand. I'm going to put the word chips inside here. I'm going off to one side because I'm going to actually put the chips. How cute and fun is this little set? And I'm not condoning advertising, but yeah, we Australians love our macas, and if you're not sure what that is, then you'll probably need to either ask an Australian or look it up. So there we go, and I'm going to actually put some more of the sand and the shells. Now look, I'm getting this everywhere. Hang on. Hold your horses, honey. What did I do with it? What did I do with it? Did I take it off there? Nope. Okay, somewhere on here is a block with, oh dear, honestly, if that had teeth, it would have bitten me. So I'm going to do some of the sand across the bottom, and I might do some of the shells in the corner, and that is our card done. Done and done. Okay, so we'll just do some bits of sand or pebbles or whatever you think they might be. Yeah. And then we'll do some cute little seashells in the corner. Which way is up? Don't think it matters. Don't think it really matters. Might do some on this side too. Oh, did I smush that? Who knows? There you go. What do you think? I might colour those little fries in. I think we need the obligatory, get out. I think we need the wild wheat for the chippies. And I think we all know what colour that is going to be, don't we? Yep, I think it's going to be this colour. Which is Poppy Parade, and it's not cooperating. I think I need a new one. Let's have a look. Oh yeah. There we go. And again, you don't have to be perfect, guys. What do you think about that? Let's have a look. We've got these cheeky little guys. This guy's looking at this guy, squawking at this guy. This guy's got all the chips, so he's happy. And then when you open up inside, it says chips. Hey friend, I love you more than ... That means to be continued, I think. Chips. So what do you think about that? I think that's a cute little set. I think everybody can identify with seagulls. I think everybody in the world has some sort of a connection with a seagull. You could even put another little bow on there if you wanted to. But that blotchy sky, yeah, I wasn't worried because it turns out every time. And yeah, and that little trick of colouring in between there, crikey, let me just tell you how fussy cutting, it would be called fussy cutting for that reason alone. Can you imagine cutting out these skinny little legs? Yeah, don't do that. Just colour them in. Okay, please, guys, let me know what you think about that card. Let me know if this is something you might like to have a go at. And I think everybody needs some little critters in their stash, whether it be seagulls or whatever it is. But I think we occasionally do need those cutesy little critters, and I think this has turned out so fun, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Look, guys, have a great weekend that's coming up. Today is Thursday. I think it might be the 6th. It's the 6th in Australia anyway. So yeah, let me know what you think, and have a great rest of your week, and have an excellent weekend, and fit some of those things that you love to do into your weekend. But I thought that was good fun. I love making little scenes like this, and especially the sandcastle, to me, was just so much fun. Okay, thanks a lot. Hooray. See you soon. Take care. Be kind. Bye for now. Bye.